There are a plethora of videos about the Grammys being very good this year, surprisingly. You can find them everywhere. And I think there's many reasons for that, especially with them being more tapped into contemporary musicians, which I think is a very good thing. I've been watching the Grammys since I was a child, and I feel like things have changed a lot more in this decade. But this episode of the podcast really sums up what happened.
Contextualize that. If you go back to the Grammys 5, 10, 15 years ago, often what you had was a nominating body that would reward older musicians. What you didn't really have was a sense that Grammys were in any kind of dialogue with contemporary popular music. But it never felt like it rewarded either the most successful or even the most critically acclaimed. It was sort of like, who are our buddies, or what records did we play on our turntables growing up, and did they put out an album this year?
There was a changing of the guard 5 or so years ago at the Grammy Awards. And part of what this new batch of leadership has tried to do is, much like you've seen with the Academy Awards and the Oscars, is replenish the voter rolls.
And where the Grammys was 5 years ago is something like this controversy that swallowed it up. And it's taken a lot of years for it to return to any type of former glory. And I even asked a couple of people that I know of that may have voted for the Grammys. I even asked some people who I know of that may have voted for the Grammys. And the process is very much like people vote for what they know, or they don't vote at all. Some voting for older musicians, and I'm glad that a lot of the new crowd got their flowers, especially because they made a lot of impact last year. Also, it was a historical year for having a lot of black artists being honored during Black History Month. And this year the performances were also very interesting, very engaging. I couldn't help but make a tweet saying that I was pretty intrigued as to how this shift in the Grammys happened. What was this pivot? Was it a result of the societal change going on right now? And with the internet nitpicks of who was snubbed aside, there are questions of, is this shift actually permanent, or is it a result of the recent calamities and this desire to be a little bit more sensitive to what's going on? Or is this new shift actually permanent? We kept seeing the announcement of 13,000 voters of the Grammy Association, and I feel like that was part of the propaganda too, to show there's more inclusion, I guess, but whatever, it was fine.